You guys have now done both parts of the Chapter 6 test. You got a grade on it. Some of you are going to need to fix it. And this worksheet right here is getting back in a groove. It's what we got that first day after we returned from spring break. Okay, I want to, the first question is about number 8 here on finding the midpoint. Before I go over the finding the midpoint with number 8, I want to make sure we understand as there's a difference between number 5 and 6 and number 7 and 8. The difference is how you go about doing them. They cannot be done the same way. In this problem right here, it's add the x's, -6 plus -10 is -16 divided by 2. Guys, every single person, and I don't care what you did on the test, but every single one of y'all, if y'all walked in the door and I said you made an 80 on a quiz, you made an 80 on a quiz, you made 100 on the quiz, what's the average? Every single one of you would know the average is 90. 80 plus 100 is 180 divided by 2 is 9. Guys, it's the same problem. It's the same problem when you find the midpoint. You add the x's, divide by 2. You add the y's and divide by 2. You just add them together and divide by 2. So the midpoint is -8, -1.5. Guys, that's not the same thing down here as number 8, like he has to do. If you have the two endpoints and you're trying to find the middle, if you're trying to find the middle, -9 plus -3 is -12. -12 divided by 2 is -6. That is not what this problem says right here. This problem right here says, here's the middle. Look, the midpoint is 10. 10 is equal to some number x plus 1 divided by 2 gives me 10. So in this one, it's not just add these two numbers together and divide by 2. And when you do that, guys, it's wrong. I've said this over and over, and several of you, I think you think I'm kidding or something, because you just took the two numbers, divided them by 2, and wrote the answer. Because you got to do the correct formula. Then once you determine that I have the right formula here for midpoint, I got to decide where these numbers are at. Look, the formula is the x value with the midpoint is add the x's, divide by 2, and then you just got to put them in where they go. So it says 10 is the midpoint. So I can't say -3 plus 4 over here. -3 plus -4 is -7. Divided by 2 is -3. That's the midpoint from there to there. This says this number is the midpoint. -4 is the middle of this magical number that we don't know, plus -3 divided by 2. And this one up here, notice you added it together divided by 2. Down here, I don't have one of those numbers. So I can't just add them together and divide by 2. Now, look up here. Divided by 2. What's the inverse of dividing by 2? Yeah, you guys know. We know all the right things to do. That's what's breaking my heart here, man. Is that we know, I know y'all know to do this. -8 equals x1 plus -3. Minus 3. Add 3. -5 equals x1. Now, this is the part that I can't see why we won't get this. We think that the best mathematicians make the fewest mistakes. Guys, that is about as far from truth as it is possible. Without a doubt, if I were sitting in a desk like you're sitting right now, I would make more mistakes than anybody in the room times 10. And I would catch them. I would not continue in this problem if I knew -5 plus -3 is -8. -8 divided by 2 is -4. I would not go to the next problem. I would not go to the next problem until I had that one worked out. The first time I added the two numbers, the first time I wrote -6 plus some number y divided by 2 is equal to 2. I might not multiply 2 times 2 and get 4. Negative 6 plus y equals 4. Add 6 the other time. I might not say 4 plus 6 is 10. As I know Robert Hill. I would probably go 4 plus 6 is 24. And you go, oh, Coach Hill, how could you make that mistake? Guys, I got 1,000 things going on in my mind. I'm thinking about this, that, and the other. But what I would not do that y'all will do is you'll just keep going to the next problem. That's not what the best mathematicians do. The best mathematicians don't make the fewest mistakes. The best mathematicians will go, okay, 10 plus negative 6. Well, 10 plus negative 6 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So I know the midpoint is negative 5, 10. Because you know that because you know how to do that. No, I don't. I got that right because I would continue working the problem until I got 2 endpoints, just like up here, 2 points that added together. Negative 9 plus negative 3 is negative 12. Divided by 2 is negative 6. I wouldn't stop until I got that. That's midpoint. I got a question about midpoint. That's midpoint formula. I'm going to call